There was no immigration at that time into America. There was a huge long waiting period, and he was concerned. So he took us back to Hungary by train. And that's the first thing I remember, going on this cattle train. I was so hungry that they cooked up kind of a cheese on a little stove in the cattle wagon. And my brother and I were on a hay bed in the cattle wagon, and my parents were standing near the stove cooking some milk to make cheese, cottage cheese type of thing. And that's the first memory I have of my life. But when I got kicked out of Budapest, I got to sleep on my aunt's examining table, plastic. People would come to the window and knock at her office window. And I would answer and wake her up, and then she'd go, and then I couldn't fall back asleep waiting for her to come home and ask questions like, "What took you so long?" Because this was a nightly recurrence. She says, "Well, we had, the patient didn't survive, but we had to dress her for the undertaker." I decided then and there, I was 12, that I'm going to be a caregiver of some sort. Either a priest, doctor, whatever.
The rebels ride their tanks triumphantly through the streets. The Russians have given their word that they will withdraw all communist troops from Hungarian soil.
You know, October 28th, we declared victory, and now the 200 million Soviets sent 200,000 against us, and about 10,000 people fighting 200,000, and they just beat the shit out of us. Within a couple of days, Budapest was leveled. On October the 23rd, he said, "We're gonna leave." And we left. When we got to this station, it was packed with people. And it said, "So where are you going? Where are you going?" And, "Oh, we're going on vacation." Everybody, that was the standard line, because everybody was so paranoid they were going to say, "Oh, we're going to Austria." The next day, these guides took us, right, to the border. Young 16-year-old bicycle. And then when that kid started yelling, "Oh, you're escaping too like the rest of them," and his voice is about 5-6 years old child on the main street of this little village on the border, echoed in the hills. So then the border guards came, but they were Hungarian, and I explained to you how my father made a deal with them, and they escorted us and told us that when they tell us to run, we run straight across, not right, not left, not because that was a clearance, but the rest of the mines were still. So you're scared shit. You're really scared when you hear that. And then the bullets start flying from the towers as they see us run. And these guards agreed to shoot at us, but miss on purpose. And you know, it was like from here to that stop sign, the clearance. And once we got across, it's another forest, just like here. And within minutes, there's you see these Hungarian flags, beautiful statements. Welcome to Hungarians, you're finally free, in the forest. And this leather-jacketed driver with a BMW stops, and my parents could speak a few German words and stuff, and he was a border guard who then directed us to go to the next town where he knew where the collection was, and that was another 10 kilometers away. So once we got there, they put us into the schoolhouse and laid us again down. But by this time we were getting hot chocolate drink and milk, and it was like heaven. But then we had to move out because other troops or refugees were coming in. But there was no way to go to either the States or to Australia. So what's the first? Belgium or Holland maybe, or Italy. So we signed up for Italy. On the 28th we were on the train to Austria, or from Vienna to Italy through the Alps, and we stopped in Udine. When I heard the train slowing down, I came out on the corridor and opened the window just a touch, and then I see this train station, massive people with flags and screaming. It's about 5 in the morning. Viva l'Ungheria, viva, viva, viva. This was the refugee train. And other people started coming to the windows down the coach. They saw me. These people are throwing presents at me, clothes, sweaters, food. I was overwhelmed. It was so overwhelming. And then when people realized what's going on, they did the same. The sea of humanity was unbelievable. Again, throwing things at us in the windows, in the back, etc. Chocolate, Coca-Cola. I didn't know what the hell Coca-Cola was, but it was a sweet drink. We started our Italian sojourn in 29, and it was quite calm weather-wise, and eating like you wouldn't believe. But they heavy on white bread, butter, but stuff that we never got in Hungary. Pasta asciutta, creams, cocoa, chocolate drinks. I mean, it was unbelievable. All you sat there, and the adults got red wine. You sat there just gorging yourself morning, noon, and night, because there were 3 meals. Long were the days where I remember stealing food in Hungary in the stores between the war and the revolution to eat. The chief of police from Massa, which was the seat of power in Massa Carrara, Marina di Massa, Firenze, all this area on the Mediterranean. There's always an official, So the official comes out with his escort, police escort, motorcycles in his Fiat car, and he makes eye contact with my dad and my mom. It's almost, you could almost feel that these guys are gonna be connected. Lo and behold, he does his business, but we're the last ones he greets before he leaves. And he says, I'll be back. But we didn't understand. They spoke a few words of German. There was translators, though, in the camp. We'll be back. They came up to my father. We'll be back. Suddenly this frigging car with motorcycle escort uniform cops appear and ask for us. My father, my mother, my brother, my sister, and I. enter this theatre. You know how they have balconies in movie theatres, and then there's the masses that sit in the rows on an escalating level. We're sitting. We're escorted to the mayor's and their chief of police's balcony seats. And all the lights are on. The movie hasn't started yet. And the people are yelling and screaming, "Welcome to Hungarians," and waving the Hungarian flags. From, November 4th, I came this close to annihilation. I was under the rubble. My father, my grandfather thought I was dead. This is December 4th. They were playing a color movie. It was Kim Novak and William Holden. And the movie was called On the Beach. It was a very famous movie. But in Hungary there was only Russian stuff and no colored movie. This is Italy. And within days, they had my sister, a 5-year-old sister, picked up by the Ansaldo Bocciardi family. My sister gone by about the 10th of December to Genova. 2 days later, my brother is gone with 2 lawyers called Raggis, R-A-G-G-I. I felt so bad for myself. I felt so sorry for myself. I often did that. January the 6th, Epiphany Day. This gorgeous car drives up. Gorgeous car drives up. And this young man who's older than me jumps on. He says, "Do you know where I came from? Sai dove posso trovare Shandor-Nagy?" Shandor-Nagy. Shandor-Nagy, I said, "Tu l'hai trovato? You have found him," meaning it's me. I'm number 3 in the family. Bela is gone to Genova. Aggie is gone to Genova. Where am I going? Genova. In the Lancia Appia, front seat. So I lived there till May the 5th, 1957. Saw my brother and sister a couple of times. What to do in the boat? Well, the Italians are Italians. Italians were always interested in females, and there was a lot of lonely Hungarian females on that boat. So I found employment on that trip. I was writing love letters from Italian to Hungarian women, and I got the replies from the Hungarian women to the Italian sailors. Can you believe that? I was given all the treats. I'd be getting beer and giving it to my father and wine. I was 14. Come on. I was struggling very much to prove myself and that I had a role to play in my life. Everybody sat in judgment. Everybody. No matter how much you believed in yourself, there was no route to express yourself. Very, very many introspection, self-analysis, prayer, morning to night, and really searching for friends wherever you could find them. Childhood friends, girlfriends, whoever would listen to you. Not just one. Many, many people, but from young age on, my aunt, who was a saint as far as I'm concerned, a gold medalist doctor, and I watched her, and it was unbelievable experience to watch her perform. Deed after deed, that was all good. And then I saw the lady who took me in to her home in Italy, who drove up in a very fancy luxury car called the Lancia Appia to the refugee camp in Italy, Massa Carrara, and took me home that same afternoon on January the 6th, 1957. And she was another saint in my life. Basically, those two people saved my life, in my opinion. If I had done anything in my life differently, I would have failed. What I have done in my life has been beyond my control in a large measure. So for me to speculate what I would have done differently is almost a contradiction, because the things that happened to me and in my life and the blessings I've had, I could not have imagined.